Hello and welcome everybody to our final episode of Orphans of the Dawn here on Vancouver by Night. I, as always, am your storyteller, Petra Skelton, and with me, as always, is a wonderful team of wonderful creators. We're going to go around to them. They're all going to introduce themselves. Then I'm going to introduce our sponsors before we get into this. So, starting out with Aubrey.
Hi, I am Aubrey, and I play Morgan, our Lasombra, and we both use she, her pronouns.
Jesse.
Hello, I am Jesse, and I am playing Khalees the Thin Blood, both he, him pronouns.
Danny.
Hi, it's me, Danny. I am playing Ayotunde, who has they, them pronouns, and I have she, they pronouns.
Julian.
Hi there, I am Julian, and tonight I'll be playing Sunny. We both have he, him pronouns.
And last but certainly not least, Tutu.
Hi, hello, good evening, friends. You can call me Laura or Tutu or Laura Tutu. I'm playing Electo, the Bruja. Both of our pronouns are they, she.
And I forgot to say my pronouns, which are she, they. For this game, I'm everybody and more. We'll get into that in a little bit. Before we do, though, we should introduce our wonderful sponsors. So, a big thank you to Mikhail Ortoria of Ortoria Designs, who designs beautiful dice boxes. Please visit him on Instagram. The link is in the chat. Illuminagents is a comedy web series that weaves real conspiracy theories into its sci-fi short-form episodes. Sorry. Sean Toronto, this indie production will leave you laughing and questioning reality at the same time. Watch season 1, which includes the musical finale episode, for free on Sika.tv. They also recently won an award. Not so recently now, but still, big deal. Orc.style is an adults-only fantasy fetish fashion brand for all of you orc-loving monster huggers out there. Orc-style shirts, underwear, and accessories are sure to drop your intelligence and increase your confidence by 10 points. And then Martlet Games is a collective of tabletop RPG veterans ready to work for you, from tabletop RPG development to actual play production. They've contributed to various Storyteller Vault titles and sponsor channels like us to keep the world of darkness a haven for those with stories to tell. Visit their link in the chat to explore their world. They can help you create yours. And then Demiplane, which whom we all got to access the wonderful tool that is Demiplane, whether it's accessing rules that your storyteller continues to forget, or just figuring out what that power do. Demiplane, it's great. And finally, just gonna shout out Vancouver by Night, because without Steve, this wouldn't happen. So thank you very much, Steve. You are not currently visible, but as always, we love you. So yeah. But let's return to the situation at hand. All of you have had an interesting day and a half, or a couple years and a day and a half, as it is. Last we left you, you'd all decided or come to the conclusion to go down into the sewers and investigate a specific door. Some of you had reservations about this, others were more interested. One of you, namely Sunny, shared a prophecy with the group that in a, shall we say, more intrusive manner than most of you would have expected, it's in this manner that Morgan felt gripped by her beast. And we have found ourselves in a bad situation where the Lasombra that is forged of shadow is now just pissed off at the bottom of the sewer. But that door opened. And that's funny. Because everything went black. And for a moment, it seems like there's nothing. And then we're going to go to Electo. Electo, you, if you've ever woken up in a bright room where you go from complete darkness behind your own eyes, what feels like complete darkness, you should have been able to see the light behind your eyes, but you didn't. And then suddenly the shock, that's what you experience as you're suddenly greeted by bright walls that have all been painted over, crayoned over, are Technicolor, are red, green, orange. And you're standing in a room whose walls are closer to you than you might expect, in the sense that it feels like you're too big for this room.
Is there a way out of said room?
There is. There's a doorway in front of you that has a handle.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna take one of the weapons that I grabbed on my way out and have that on hand while I push that door open.
Okay, what was that weapon? Can you remind me? Or
Believe
which
I have
weapon do you grab?
I mean, the machete's probably gonna be the easiest.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. So you grab the machete, you bring it up, and the soft squeak of latex under your fingers makes you look down. You're holding, you're holding your machete, but that made a weird noise when you gripped it.
What's wrong with it? Is it still so it's still a machete?
How would you like to check?
um I guess I'm gonna run my thumb over the blade like you do to check the honed edge on something.
So you do that, and you hear a as it's sliding across what feels like a balloon.
Okay, you know what? I don't need weapons to cause problems. I would just like to get out of this weird ass, tiny ass room, please.
Mm-hmm. So you're just gonna open the door?
Yep.
So you open the door, and as you grip it, it's a door. It's a door in front of you. It's made of wood. But the moment your hand clasps around the handle, you can feel cardboard under your hand. And you open it, and outside there is a laneway of other houses. And they're houses, just a little too small, all built of the same, well, they look like houses, but you have to assume that they're made of the same material you just felt. And somebody, or a voice, comes from nearby and goes, "Hi!"
Who is there?
So
Storyteller.
you turn, and just poked kind of out the side of one of the buildings is what looks like a puppet. They're made of felt. Their eyes are made of buttons. Their mouth is open, and they look at you dressed in an outfit that is more evocative of the neighborhood you're in, which is all the idea of white picket fences. Look out, their skin is like a soft blue, baby blue. They go, "Hi! Hi, neighbor, how are you?"
Absolutely fucking not. And I'm gonna turn down the lane and see if I can get my bearing.
Okay. So you just keep going?
Nope. Hard no.
Okay, so you run down the laneway, yeah?
Yep.
Cool. So you go and you keep running, you keep running, you keep running, and there's just more houses. and more laneway, and more houses, and more laneway. And then another puppet pokes out of the next corner you come close to and goes, "Ha! Sorry, friend. It's been a while since we had a neighbor." They hold out a hand that suddenly feels a lot closer to you than it was a moment ago.
Big old step back.
"Oh, I'm sorry." They just stare at you, that the cold plastic of their eyes feeling like it almost looks through you.
I don't appreciate waking up in strange places. Where the fuck am I?
Oh, that is a difficult scenario you're describing. I'm really sorry that you found it to be uncomfortable. What's your name? My name's Buddy.
Electo.
Electo! I like your outfit, Electo.
Thanks. I'm gonna ask you again, where the fuck am I?
You're in the neighborhood. There's no need for rough language.
Are there any other signposts, markers, storyteller?
So you look up to be like, okay, like, fuck this. Look
Fuck
up,
this
and
guy.
there is a street sign that has a sign for the street you're on and then the cross street, and they both say the neighborhood and the neighborhood scrawled on them with what looks like crayon.
Okay. All right. Cool. Great. Awesome. Is my burner phone still on me?
Yes.
Is there signal?
No.
Fuck.
Actually, ooh, yes. Yes, there is.
Okay. It's a shit smartphone, but it's a smartphone nonetheless. Maps app, GPS. Does it know where the fuck I am?
Yes, it does. You see a Google map in front of you. You are underneath Hastings, which is like a big street near the downtown, on the East Vancouver. But as you look at it, you're looking at it, and suddenly they go, "Oh boy!" And this puppet is suddenly next to you now, but you can't, like, if you look, like, you can't see where they start. And they're holding their own little smartphone, but their smartphone shows like a rough drawing of the neighborhood. They go, "Where are you trying to get to, friend?"
Out of here.
"Oh, you want to leave?
Yeah.
Don't you want to find your friends first?"
They're not my friends.
"Oh,
Where are they?
okay. Well, you're gonna want to take a turn." And they start giving you directions that are abject nonsense. They're describing street names that you've never heard before.
It is
But as
taking everything in my soul not to drop kick this puppet. Everything in my soul. Everything that is left of my black little soul.
And as this is happening, a child walks out of one of the nearby homes. Not a puppet, not kindred, just a kid. Their hair's shorn very short. They're wearing clothes that looks like they're scraps made from scraps made from scraps. But they walk up and go, and they look like they're like 12, maybe no older than that. And they go, "Buddy, I can show them around." And Buddy goes, "Okay, bud." And then Buddy's gone. Sorry, that was probably pretty jarring.
What are you doing down here, kid?
I live here. A bunch of us do.
Storyteller, have I heard about this group?
Yes, there have been rumors because every now and then Kindred would basically swear they saw like just kids in the sewer or on the surface, and they're very flighty. They never really want to interact with anyone, and they always seem to be carrying clothes with them or fabric. Sorry, I'm being rude, and they kind of like flinch when they say that, like just kind of like sorry, my name's Gray. You are.
Hi, Greg. You can call me Bellamy.
Bellamy. I like that name. You came here with friends, right?
Loosely.
Or, sorry, I guess that's an assumption.
Acquaintances, let's call them.
Okay. Do you want to find them or get out of here?
Can we do both?
Sure. This is gonna sound weird, but this is only gonna work if you take my hand. And they hold theirs out to you. They're about like more than half the size of Electo, and hold the hand up.
I'm gonna blush of life and then take their hand.
Okay.
Just so I don't scare the small child.
And as you walk together, you notice for the first time that your feet actually seem to have purchase on the ground. You actually start to make progress. And it's at this point that we're going to cut away to. Is everything okay, Danny? We're good? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. We are going to cut to Khalees.
Oh boy.
So, Khalees, you find yourself in a similar situation, but instead of waking up in a house, you're on a lawn, and you can feel it like plastic under you. This is turf that's been laid down. And if you lift yourself up, you notice that you're in a field that's been laid out with this stuff. And there's a little cardboard sun just hanging from the ceiling, and like little cardboard clouds.
No, I'm with you. I am here.
Okay. What does Khalees do?
Khalees is going to lay back for a moment and just kind of weirdly enjoy the way that the plastic feels against his palms. Take a breath and then sort of stand up. I don't think we're close yet.
A soccer ball bounces over to you.
And he's going to look. He will look.
And just around a bush that inexplicably seems to be in the middle of this field, a puppet pokes out and goes, "Well, hello, friend." This one is orange, has kind of like an orange felt for their skin. They're wearing clothing that looks like a soccer player, and their features are cut a little bit more square. "Well, hello, friend. How are you?"
I'm fine.
Fine day for exercise.
Is that what you're doing?
Of course.
How?
Why, we're playing soccer, silly.
Can you
Kick
do that
the
right now?
ball.
You can do that.
I can do what?
Kick the ball?
They look at the ball that's over by you.
Okay.
Well, no, it's your turn.
Where do I kick it?
To me.
Okay. Just want to make sure I'm playing by the rules. And then Khalees is going to kick the ball.
You kick the ball and it goes over to them. And actually, do you want to do a roll for me to see how accurate you are at kicking a soccer ball?
Gosh, is he like a soccer king? I'm not gonna hit it that hard. Okay.
This is more for accuracy.
Okay, so Dex Athletics?
Yeah.
Hey, I have a question.
Yes.
Am I
have an answer.
hungry?
You are not.
Thought so.
I just saw the chat.
3.
Okay. So that ball ends up near the puppet. And that's weird. You swore like it was just they were gonna have to poke out a little too far, but now that bush is just over slightly. And they catch the ball. Go, hit her. Hit it with her head. And the whole puppet like flops when they do it. Just hit the ball over to you. Look over to you.
Interesting. If this was perfect, that would not have happened.
Perfect.
Is there anything else that we do here besides this soccer stuff?
Oh, of course. Are
It's
you
not
looking
soccer,
for
by
someone?
the way. It's football. What?
Are you looking for someone?
Yes, I'm looking for. I have some friends here, and I need to find them.
Understood. And they look, and a kid is walking across the field. You hear their soccer cleats depressing the plastic turf as they approach you. This one is a preteen. They're just around 14, 13. And they look like unlike Gray, the child that approached Electo, this one looks like they were specifically going for an aesthetic, that of an athlete. And they walk up to you. Their hair is a little bit longer, like they've just stopped getting it cut. And their features are aquiline, long, like a sharp nose. Say, hi, hi.
Can you help me find some of my friends?
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be this way. You came with the
Where?
others.
Yes, I did. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Where are we?
The neighborhood.
Actually?
Yeah, I don't. To be honest, I don't know how you got here. You're the first person other than the other one that has ever got in here.
Who's the other one?
We're not really supposed to talk.
Oh, you can tell me. You can tell me. We can figure this out together.
Do you want to roll to persuade?
Yeah. should be fine. Mm. Man, I don't have any of those kinds of skills actually.
Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. They look at you and go, he stunk.
He stunk?
Yeah, like smoke. Here, it sounds stupid, but like, can you take my hand? It's the only way we're gonna get anywhere.
Yes, I will take your hand, no problem.
Okay, sorry. I know it's awkward. And
No, it's not awkward. It's not awkward.
okay. And you start to walk and you begin to leave the field behind. You're making actual progress, though you didn't try and run from the field. There's a feeling that if you had, you might have simply been on it interminably. Now we're going to pull away to Sunny.
Uh-oh.
Sunny, you find yourself in what looks like a half-finished church.
Mm.
And I say half-finished because while the other places looked like what they were supposed to, but it was easy to tell that not really. Yours is the most obvious. Half of it hasn't even been finished like they didn't finish coloring it. A bunch of it isn't built yet. But there's a suggestion of a cardboard church all around you. And the pews under you, however, are actual wood.
Is there anything like clawed into the wood or like scratched into the wood?
Yeah, there are actually countless things scratched into the wood. All different names, initials, little like drawings and the like.
Uh, anything that might stick out to my funny occult brain?
Yes. So you see an assortment of symbols that you would recognize. Namely, they're symbols that have kind of fallen out of vogue post Gehenna. But you do see them scratched into the wood, that of the symbol of the Camarilla, the Anarch, and the Sabbat. And you also see,
I was going to ask, are they fresh or are they old? Like carvings? Old. Okay.
You also see another carving that's of a triangle with several eyes on it.
Interesting. Do you want me to roll to see if he recognizes that, or in all of my years would I recognize that clan symbol?
Yeah, you definitely recognize the clan symbol.
Interesting. He'll say kind of like under his breath as he kind of rubs like the symbol a little bit. I haven't had the honor to see one in person, but well, I finally made it. He kind of like leans back and kind of looks around. I don't blame them for not finishing it. Religion is falling out of favor.
I mean, it's taking some time. And there's a kid sitting on the other end of the pew. This one, like 10.
He jumps. Because he didn't expect someone to be there.
They jump too. And go.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Is this kid familiar to me? Has he seen him in his many times in trying to gain access to the crayon?
No.
Oh, sorry. Did not mean to scare.
No, it's okay. Sorry, we didn't finish. Um, we didn't finish the buddy for this area yet.
It's okay. Tell me, why are you making places and buddies? Because he doesn't know
Um,
what the buddies are.
Yeah. Um, they go, well, I mean, she had the idea first, and then it all kind of sounded really good, and then we just woke up here. Some of us get to
Hmm.
leave sometimes, and we find more things to bring back and make everything better, but she started it.
She must be very important to have you all go on such big projects. And he kind of like leans back and he's wondering in his head like who is she, but he's playing the dad cool card and being like maybe the kid will tell me more.
Do you want to roll?
Yes, because he does have persuasion.
Okay.
All right. So would this be a charisma plus persuasion
Yes,
or
go
a
for that.
manipulation? Okay, cool.
That's yeah. I think based on how you've described it, we can go with persuasion. That makes sense.
Okay, cool. And you said there's no hunger?
No hunger.
Oh, cool. All right, so there's that. There's that. Um, Scrolling through so I can remember what merits I have. Okay, cool. Yeah. Doo-doo-doo. All right. 2 successes. Gonna spend a willpower real quick. And 2 more successes for a total of 4.
Okay. So the kid, like, you notice them in that way that only small children do, where they kind of like try and imitate what you're doing. Not the best, but they're trying, and they go,
Sure.
yeah, I mean, we all just kind of want to make her feel better, right? And she's so scared.
I haven't had the pleasure of meeting her. Does she have a name?
And you notice that their eyes keep darting to kind of like the window.
Mm-hmm.
Do you look?
He's gonna try to give like a really subtle glance towards the window.
If you do, you notice that it's like the darkness is pushing in.
Okay. Now this darkness you talk about, is this
Mm-hmm.
is this oblivion darkness? Or is this like abyss darkness? Like, or should I roll for should I roll an occult to see if I can suss that out?
I'm not gonna suggest you roll anything because in the next couple seconds it might not matter.
Okay,
Speaking
great.
of which, we're gonna go to Morgan.
Okay, great.
You have described Morgan's beast as being a monster.
Yes.
Something that kills without compunction, without is it passionless, or is there fury behind it?
Yes. There is a lot of fury behind it, a lot of anger and hate and pain.
So you, or your beast, saw things to hate, to push violence onto, and then everything in a flash was gone. No quarry, no nothing but the rage, and everything does not dissipate for a second. And now you're here. You're staring at unpainted cardboard all around you. Your limbs wreathed in shadow are equally wreathed in fabric that binds your arms and keeps you from moving. Now, my question to you
Mm.
is Morgan going to try and fight her beast in this moment? Or are you going to ride the wave? You've been given a brief moment of reprieve in the sense that the transition to this moment was, shall we say, unique.
Mm. I think whatever is left of her humanity will fight back in the moment.
Okay. You, ooh, this is a question for you. What does it look like when Morgan rips herself free from the beast? Is it visible to other people? Do they see the shadow retreat back across your body, or do they is it just done in an instant?
I think they see it, yeah. As if I'm leaving a physical shadow behind.
Okay. So as you slowly pull yourself out of it, your shadow pulling behind you, Sunny gets a wonderful view of cardboard creaking, like if you've ever heard like heavy double pane cardboard being ripped down with the faint echo of stone being hewn as you rip down a wall and step out of the shadow and in to this fake church in front of you that feels too small and too confining, and everything's still retreating from you. You are gaining control, but that anger hasn't necessarily gone away. You see Sunny sitting in a pew and a child sitting near them. That's your context.
I think if Sunny sees Morgan being big mad, I know meta wise, children are not going to get hurt.
No, children are not going to get hurt.
But he, I think the character probably doesn't know that. So I think like he kind of gets up and kind of pats like the kid on the shoulder, because I don't think he got the kid's name. And he'll say, I think you should probably go for your own safety.
Go, you're stuck. Okay. And
if you see Haddad, tell him I said hi.
and they look at you and lock eyes. For a second, you are certain they understand what you mean. And then they're gone. And it's just Morgan and you.
Okay, Morgan. You're very upset.
No shit.
I'm assuming your target of ire is me, or is it this greater place?
Know where the fuck I am, but just
Where the kids call home?
I'd say that there is one person who I'm angrier at than you. So
Well, right now we can't leave. If what that child said is true, by all means you can try. And he gestures, you know. I mean, you might have the means because I was staring at the darkness coming through the window. You might have means to travel, but I do not.
do I
But
see
this,
darkness in the window?
I think you came from the window.
Oh,
if you look back, I was muted,
Mhm.
to where that gaping hole is that you left in the church, there is just darkness.
You know, to make myself feel better and to deal with my anger a little bit, just gonna sock Sunny in the jaw.
You can try.
Okay, so both of you are gonna do this. Is gonna be
Mhm.
yep, we're gonna have to roll for that. We will come back to that because I'm just gonna quickly pop
Mhm.
over to Iotunde.
Yeah.
Iotunde. You do not wake surrounded by cardboard. You do not wake surrounded by something unfamiliar. You awake in an area draped in fabric that looks close to the home you'd eked out for yourself in the sewers. Little things are off, but it looks similar enough.
Immediately, Iotunde is going to. Where is it? Did I close it? That's crazy. They're gonna activate heightened senses.
Mm.
Like, just like the second like vision comes to them, like that's the first thing they think of.
Okay. Um, well, this is going to lead us to our break. So you activate
Yeah,
the
this makes
heightened
sense.
senses.
Mm.
Your eyes focus. And the illusion, as I said, was pretty well achieved. But behind it, it's difficult to pin down at first. But the reason why it feels off is you can see the walls undulate. You can see them pulse as if there's a heartbeat behind them. And in that moment, you recognize that. You can see it still, like a predator that knows it's being watched. And we're going to go to break. Please don't go get some food, get some water. Things are only going to get better in the neighborhood after this, but we'll be back in roughly about 10 minutes and we will see you then. Our producer was counting down with what I can only describe as Zamisi fingers, so that was a time. Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Orphans of the Dawn. Now, before we get back into it, I do want to remind everyone that this is in fact, a horror game. As a result, there will be troubling themes. There could be things that you might find upsetting or shocking. If at any point anything you hear described makes you feel uncomfortable, I urge you to please step away for your own health. There will be a VOD, there will be a podcast. You can obviously always check back if you need to, but your health comes first. The same is always extended to all the players. If everybody here knows that if they feel uncomfortable, they can bounce out and we can always pause and pick up later. With that said, and with discomfort in mind, let's get back into this. Now, from last I remember, someone was about to get socked in the jaw.
Yes.
Unless my luck of the devil doesn't work.
Ooh.
It does say an attack.
Yeah, I'd say it works. So
It's like I want to say Morgan reaches out and like Sunny sees that and he's like, "Don't do it," because I feel like he has a relationship with the thing because he he doesn't know what it is, but he knows that there's something there.
yeah, because I guess you'd have to hit the other thing in the room. Okay. Why don't you roll some damage for me, Aubrey?
Okay. Dude, just roll my strength brawl pool.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
The storyteller didn't think about how Luck of the Devil could make this get real interesting real quick.
I'm also going to activate for prowess.
Okay.
I don't get hungrier.
For what? A tasty sandwich?
Exactly.
Nobody drinks blood here, silly.
Only Kool-Aid and jelly beans.
Well,
We only eat
that's
jelly beans.
Technically, it's Flavor Aid, but yeah.
Oh, Flavor Aid. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we're not sponsored.
say 6 successes with a messy critical.
Sunny says don't.
Okay. So, what does this look like? Aubrey, like, winding up a bit hit and then throwing it?
Yeah, I'm stalking across the church towards Sunny, and I'm just get it like arms up, and then like as I get closer, it just like goes back, and then
So you punch, and your foot hits what feels like a misplaced tile, and you hit the pew that's next to Sunny, but the pew slams downwards, and you're expecting the ground to be solid. You were just walking on it. It was solid. But instead, it hits and you smell blood as the pew pierces into the ground, and a tumescent shriek fills the room. The kind of sound that emits from a body that has no mouth, where it just vibrates through, and just a deep gusher of blood just kind of starts coming out from where the leg of the pew pierced down.
Oh no.
okay, so what the fuck?
Roll to know where I am or who I'm in.
Sure, it's gonna be a cult and some other stuff. Yeah, sure.
Roll to know what's happening.
Am I thinking quickly here? Enough to say I'm using wits.
I'd say so. You know, if you're inside something that you just wounded, you might want to think quickly.
Oh, cool. Oh. 1, 2, 3 successes.
Okay. So the first thing I'm going to say is to the audience, some of whom, who knows, maybe this is your first episode. This takes place in after Gehenna. I have described repeatedly, nobody has seen a Zamisi. All vampires got kind of weird in the post Gehenna world. Zamisi just kind of disappeared. Nobody really knew what happened with them. In this moment, as Sunny looks down into the gout of blood that is just so thick it could be an emulsion. You know, in this moment, that there's only one thing that could be composed of this much flesh. Would Sunny like to say it?
Yes. Sunny casually steps up onto another pew and looks at Morgan and says, "Do you know anything about the Cathedral of Flesh or the first son? Well, I guess the second son, but or them now. It, whatever it wants to be called. Sorry, I do not mean to offend. Don't be mad at me." And he kind of like halfway crouches down, even though he realizes that means nothing.
As somebody with no dots in a cult, I'm relatively sure I have never heard of this before.
Simisi,
There's,
yes?
I mean, that's fucking obvious. There's a lot of flesh.
Simisi disappeared. I saw Eslakta when I was coming back from visiting the children.
I just had hoped they'd fuck back off to Eastern Europe.
Last time I heard they were in New York. And how they made it here, I don't know. Perhaps they've just been borrowing. It's very possible. But it would explain why we can't leave without a guide.
I mean, have we just
Although,
tried the direct route?
have you ever tried not getting eaten? Or
Or,
reverse osmosising?
I mean, can't say I've ever done that before.
Sound comes from the walls, and you hear and it's at this moment that we're going to cut away. We cut to Alecto, Iotunde, and Khalees, all in separate situations, all, well, two of you are being accompanied. But as you're walking and actually being led, you're actually passing areas. The ground shudders underneath you. And for a moment, you think about that. There was a popular belief when it came to the lower mainland and Vancouver, BC, which was that the big one was coming, which was supposedly supposed to be the big earthquake that was going to just utterly rack the province that everybody was preparing for. It feels for an instant as your heart, as your like stomach leaps into your heart, it feels like this might be the beginnings of that, and then it calms. And Electo, the child holding your hand, Gray, freezes in place. And Khalees, same for you. And though neither of you know this is happening to the other, both kids look up to you at the same time and say, someone's hurting him. And they pull on your hand to guide you a little faster. You round a corner and find Ayutunde standing in a place covered with canvas. The three of you reunited.
Ayotunde is standing there in the middle of this room, eyes wide, staring forward, um, and their hands are shaking. Um, they are they the best way for me to describe what their gaze looks like if you look at their eyes, even from the size, is the look of someone who thinks they were just about to die. Um, and they stand there and just stare and probably don't even realize that other people have entered the vicinity because there's flesh staring back at them metaphorically. Um, so that's sort of the scene you're met with in this room of, multicolored fabrics. Some are very pretty, some are very colorful, some are maybe a little dull, but you know, if you're in a playhouse, it'd be pretty.
Elise and Electo, do you react to Ayotunde?
I do
Khalees
look
is
down.
deep in
Oh.
thought. Deep in thought.
I'm gonna look down at Gray. Who?
Uh,
You said they were hurting somebody, kid. Who?
a host.
Gray, where are we? I know we're under the city, but where are we, kid?
Safe.
You sure about that?
We need to bring you to the door. We need to get you to the door, and that way you can talk to. They're just scared.
Yeah, well, I think that's sort of been the general feeling since all this shit popped off. Stuff. Sorry.
They kind of smile, you notice, and they kind of lean close and go, I know how to fucking swear too.
That does not make me feel better, kid.
Can I raise my hand just for a moment?
Yeah.
Just Electo, they're like teenagers. You remember what it's like to be a teenager, right?
It's been at least 5 decades, if not more, dude.
Big fucking deal. It's been a couple of centuries for me, but I still remember what it's like to be a teenager. It's very formative years, you know?
The walls shudder.
Mm.
And the kid with you, Elise, goes, it's never been like this before. We really should probably get you to the door.
We're still missing some friends.
They'll be brought to the door too.
With all of this going on.
Yeah.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
This is weird. I do remember that you told me that Khalees has night terrors.
Yes.
Right, and those night terrors involved a specific weird kind of like prophecy or something along those lines that I might have had in Chronicle 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I made it a head thing where I just said I don't think Khalees looks that far anymore or tries to sleep very often because he doesn't want to see those things anymore. But I think he's gonna look just a peek, just a brief peek, see where the lines are going, see if the kids take us there. That's what he's gonna compare and contrast really quick. Just he's a little paranoid, just a little bit. He trusts his gut, but not that much.
Okay. Is there a role you'd like to do for this, or is this just Khalees has got the brain
Flaw.
ticking?
It's a flaw, and I know he if
Yeah.
he hasn't been sleeping, he's probably hallucinating right now. Like he's probably sleepwalking right now. I don't know.
Do you remember that I told you a couple sessions ago that Khalees could see the threads leading under the earth of Vancouver?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So as Khalees accesses this part of themselves, lets the bleed happen, they can see the threads like the fibers of muscle sinew surrounding them like a hallway, leading them to a terminus where two figures stand. One is tethered, the other isn't.
You lost me. Khalees is now down a different rabbit hole, just stops talking and starts thinking again.
Ao?
Just slow head turn.
We need to go. And it's the kid that you met earlier. We need to go.
Neighbor kid?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm
Oh,
really
if you're here, then it must be fine. I thought I was somewhere else. But we are. Is this the neighborhood? If I reach behind my ear, can I still have the crayon?
Yes.
um, Aya will move the crayon and hold it, and will walk up. Sort of like shift forward, and hold it and be like, I kept it. So I think it made me not disappear.
Take my hand. And they'll take your hand. They're still holding Khalees's hand, and Gray will reach out for your other one. And all three of you, it's like the world moves around you. It's nauseating. Or it would be if any of you had contents in your stomach, but you don't, considering you're vampires. You find yourself standing on the edge of something. There's a door in front of you that's familiar. Orange crayon sketched on it. And Sunny and Morgan, if that
Yes.
black pit that was behind you
Uh-huh.
is now your friends staring at a door. They're on your side of the door, to be clear. And yeah.
Turn around and look and just this thing's real fucked up.
Julian, I think you're muted currently.
So they're interactable now, or
Yes.
they're
Yeah,
like
yeah. You
okay.
can basically you're
Okay.
all almost inhabiting the same space.
Okay.
It's like two sets basically got rammed into each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I imagine like Sunny's eyes look very owlish again, because he heard that voice, and as someone who's a follower of Enoch, I'm about to have some words with a very upset non-binary child. Um, that's not a child anymore, but is mycelium. But Sunny kind of like looks over, and his eyes kind of like quickly like scan everybody to make sure everyone is alive. But he looks towards Khalees, and he's going to mouth Cathedral of Flesh.
I should
And
say, anybody that looks into the church just sees like what is effectively a small fountain of blood pouring out of the floor.
Anytime I think shit can't get any weirder. Oh
No, this
my
makes
oh my god.
this makes a lot more sense. Actually, this makes a lot more.
Do
sense.
you want to explain it? Nothing makes sense right now, my guy. Please help.
They are here.
Who's it? They who? Who they? Who is they?
So he just looks down at the gushing blood, expecting it to introduce themselves. Wait, do I even have dots in etiquette? Not that it fucking matters. No.
Can you roll me a chance die?
A chance die?
Yeah,
Okay. That's just a D10, right?
just a D10. Tell me if you get a success.
Woo! That is a 6.
So you look down
Smiling
at
right now.
the gout of blood, and an arm, something climbs out and is soaked in blood. And they're just holding themselves there for a moment. Morgan, would you like to roll a die to recognize someone, or do you think you'd recognize the person you've been hunting for the last little bit?
Yeah, I would recognize Wayne.
Cool. So Wayne is just arms propped up, covered in blood, with like a thick layer, basically no clothes, just what the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, fancy seeing you here.
Oh, what the fuck? Where the fuck am I?
I believe the correct term is inside of a Sumitsi.
And they look around and look down beneath them. And they try to puke. They don't. Go. I don't know how long I was in there. Why the fuck are you here?
We have unfinished business. Where is Wayne wearing clothes or anything?
No.
Okay, I'm just gonna grab him by the scruff of his neck and just carry him as I walk towards the door. Just drag him along the ground.
Gotta go.
And they grip your arm. Come on! What the hell did I do to you?
You're the last one left.
Yeah? You want to know something special? You want to know something that fucking saved this whole fucking time?
Are you sure you're gonna tell me?
Let me go.
Do you
Let me go,
want to
let me-
go back into the flesh pit?
No! Let me die on my fucking feet!
Then let's get the fuck out of here.
Fuck you! I already fucking died in there. I can fucking die here. That's fine. Let me say my piece.
Fine.
You're gonna get the last fucking laugh. You get to fucking kill me. That's fine. But you know what I found out? You know what I found out before I ended up here?
What?
You weren't the one he was supposed to fucking grab. You were the fucking backup. He says this, and there's a clear expression on his face, like he expects that to hurt you more. So you didn't even matter to him.
Oh. And I think I proved myself. Not that I ever fucking asked for any of this. I didn't ask to watch everyone die and to bleed out on a fucking dock.
Yeah, well, you should have picked your friends better.
And not much they can do now. They've been fucking dead since the 90s.
You're different than I thought you'd be.
Yeah. A lot's changed.
You changed enough to let me go.
No. I'm just gonna reach down. Is he standing?
Yeah.
He is standing. I'm going to reach forward, putting my hands on his shoulder and channeling Touch of Oblivion as my hands go towards his neck to separate his neck from his head from his body with my bare hands.
It just lifts up and you're just holding a head.
Mhm.
And as he reaches his final death, there is no victory in his eyes, no resigned success, just confusion that this isn't who he expected you to be when you found him.
Any softness is long gone.
From behind the rest of you, you hear a knocking sound on the door.
Ao will turn. Actually, first Ao turns, but they turn and like walk back a bit, facing the door because they're gonna go beside Morgan. Um, how bloody would you say is Morgan after that moment?
Like to there, at least.
Mm.
And
Uh,
the Umbra will get further on my body because I use Touch of Oblivion.
Oh, that's cool. Aotunde, while staring at this door, is still very wide-eyed, overwhelmed. Um, they will take off the jacket that they have, sort of torn up jacket, and they just sort of start. They absentmindedly reach for whatever one of Morgan's hand is free and just start wiping the blood off of it. And say, you don't have to have their blood on you anymore. You did a cool thing.
Thank
Also,
you.
you're still here, which is important because I thought we weren't anymore. So thanks for still being here. We have friends. And they point at the door.
Yeah. Is the strange shadow residue I left behind still there?
Nope.
Okay.
There's the door and the 4 of you, or 5 of you.
After that, A wants to sort of reach out to Gray and the other kid.
Oh
Are they still
no,
there?
like I said, the 5 of you.
Oh! Lee turned
Can we-
around, looking for
Yeah.
them.
Can we get out of the fleshy cathedral, please?
Yep. Okay,
This-
yeah, let's go.
Please.
Yep.
No, I don't want to think too hard about it.
Who opens the door?
Makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
Checks
yeah.
out.
It's like,
Yeah,
are we
yeah.
going?
You're
Are
rushing.
we're
You're
going? Right?
rushing.
I'm going. Fuck you all. I'm going.
So you open the door.
Yep.
And through it
Oh no.
is a room. Have you ever seen the inside of a lotus flower?
Mm,
The
Yeah.
weird.
mm-hmm.
So that, but made of muscle. There's no bone you can see, but there is flesh. But
Oh no.
in the wall, we've all seen Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, part of the ship, part of the crew.
No.
No.
Yes,
Mm.
but no. This is
Yeah.
me screaming in denial.
Embedded in the wall is the unmistakable figure of a vampire that, as you look into the room, kind of pulls themselves out of the wall, tendrils connected to their back. They look at all of you. They're hairless. They like no body hair whatsoever. Their features, it's like they actively had what's the best way to put this? When a person has a surgical obsession, basically they continuously, that's what they look like. They look put together, but like they kept putting themselves together wrong. And they look at all of you and go, you need to leave.
We're trying.
I didn't make this for you.
Why did you make it?
I did not like this.
Do you know who she is?
And there's fear in his face. She wanted them all to be safe. Ugh.
She wants you to be safe too, you know.
I'm keeping all of us safe.
I know you are. And he knows that too.
Yeah.
Sonny actually he's making a really big risk right now saying this. And he kind of goes over to the figure and he tries to be kind by trying to touch one of the limbs in a very gentle way. And if it reacts a certain way or if they react in a certain way, that's fine. But he'll say, "Don't worry, I think that it will be over soon. You might be able to rest soon."
I was just hoping it would happen quicker.
I know. It's a long time. You're doing a good job. I'm sorry you got hurt. It was an accident. I'm sorry.
She's not a vampire.
I know.
She's not human either. She wanted this place to exist, and it just did.
You are practically the earth. What else more could she be?
Hate everything we're afraid to dream.
Can you repeat that one part, that last part? Because I feel like you cut out in the beginning.
Everything we're afraid to dream.
His brows furrow a little at that. And he's like, well, then perhaps leave the dreaming to some of us. Perhaps maybe not you or I, but others. And he gestures a hand towards Ayutunde. These people are here for a reason, for fate. They might not want it or believe in it, and I'm sure that one of them is rolling their eyes right now, thinking, I have absolutely nothing to do with this. I'm just here for the ride. Am I right? Okay. But perhaps you don't have to do everything. But the help where it's needed, we will appreciate. You are not bad. Despite your origin, you are not born bad.
I'm not Samisi.
Still, you're not born bad. And your words could still resonate. Are they not?
I don't have words left. I need to die.
As
You wish.
hearing that,
He'll-
we'll look at Sunny and say, can make it quick.
If you want them to die sooner than later, then yes. Though they may get their wish eventually. And
They
he gives
just
one last pat before leading back.
On in their misery.
I'm sorry.
and this is the time I will pull out a knife. And walk forward to this person and look them in the eye and say, it's gonna hurt, but it'll be quick.
I still remember my name.
What's your name?
Sarkos. Do it.
I will take the knife and plunge it into where their heart should be.
Are you touch of oblivioning, or are you just stabbing them?
Stabbing and touch of oblivion is painful.
Okay.
It makes them rot away. I promise this person a quick death.
Okay. So you do this, and he shudders and goes, that heart's dead. Has been for a while. Do it right.
And I will.
Yes?
No.
Do I have an actual machete back,
You do.
Morgan?
Yeah,
Let me try.
go for it.
And I will take machete. Sarkos? Rest well. Take their head off with the machete.
You take their head off with the machete, and for a moment you think that's it. And then their head continues to float there, held by the tendril connected to the back of their head. Said, and they look at you and go, I said, do it proper. And the whole world around you quivers and shakes.
Gods. Fucking flesh crafters. Did Storyteller, would I know what to do in this? What does he mean by do it proper? I've got a dot in cult.
Well, you are a vampire. You know a thing that can kill vampires pretty readily.
It's usually beheading.
That's true. But the other options are stuff like fire.
I don't.
I mean, there's always
um,
touch of oblivion.
There's also that.
Yeah.
But that's a choice that somebody needs to make.
I mean, if I see that this doesn't work, it's yeah.
Unless somebody's got a lighter, there's
Mhm.
not much else I can do.
Reach
Oh.
out. Hmm?
I am.
Hey, yeah.
You see, Eodas actually raised their hand. And does a little wave. But instead of pulling out a lighter, they are going to step forward very quickly, reach for the machete from Electo.
Hand it over.
They are going to go to the tendrils that are connecting this body to this flesh, and in a very, very out of spot moment for Eotunde, they scream and they start hacking at it until they stop connecting them.
Okay.
I mean, if this person falls forward onto me, I will use touch of oblivion on them.
Yeah. No, that's not the concern.
Okay.
This is gonna work really well. I'm not gonna get you to roll for that. The
Okay.
problem is, so with most parasites, they enter
back.
a paroxic state where when they lose their host, and they will seek out other hosts.
Oh.
So, in what will be the final roll of this chronicle, as Ayotunde slashes through those tendrils, I need everybody to tell me the roll they want to make. There's no wrong answer here.
Okay, I have a
Okay.
question.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
The
Mary
the
and Joseph.
parasite is Samisi, right?
Seems like.
Okay. And this is going to be interesting, and this is going to be interesting, and it's going to be a test. This is going to be testing Sunny's faith. I wanna Fata Morgana the thing that Sunny saw when he was embraced that he thinks is Enoch. That he argued with Joser with in his backstory, yada yada yada, all that jazz, because they argue what that thing was that they saw when they were embraced. And if Samisi reacts poorly to seeing a second gen, then that might give us room to escape.
So your attempt is to
Real.
reach the Fata Morgana to inspire fear in Samisi, yes?
Yes, and it's also going to test of whether or not the thing that Sunny saw was in fact an image of Enoch, and if it's not, then he knows that it wasn't Enoch, and therefore his whole faith is going to be shaken then. And that'll be interesting.
Okay. What is Electo going to roll? Or what, Tutu, what would you like to roll for Electo?
Well, I'm a Bruja. I'm strong and fast.
Okay.
I would like to get with
Okay.
quickness, please and
Yeah.
thanks. Thank
Makes
you.
sense.
Okay,
Aubrey,
we're
what
good.
is Morgan doing?
I'm
Touch
going
of
to gra-
Oblivion?
I'm gonna grab onto the first like piece of flesh that is connected to the wall I can, and essentially just touch of oblivion as I will rouse as many times as I have to. And
Okay.
essentially to just pour so much oblivion into this thing that it rots the entire thing.
Danny, what are you doing?
I think uh I'm going to do I'm thinking occult composure. Wait, no,
Okay.
wait.
No, no.
Wait.
Sure. Why? Tell me why.
Because I'm thinking that in Ayotunde's moment of releasing everything out, because their last shot was them being so confused that they just wanted out, they wanted something to change. That I think the aftermath is them trying to almost just stand there, and through pure will and everything they have gone through, not supernaturally, but in the sense of the occult and the strange and the corrupted, to almost through sheer will, which maybe wits would be better.
No, that's okay.
uh
I do have to. Sorry, I will come back to you.
yeah, all good.
Jesse, Khalees. What is Khalees doing?
I'm gonna do something stupid.
Do something stupid. Now is the time.
Okay. I still have Side Hustler, and previous Chronicle, that was my duffel bag that I pulled out a drill with. I have Side Hustler, and I also have this thing called Blacklight Surprise. If this is an old enough vampire that does not like sunlight anymore, they are not going to like Blacklight Surprise, because it's going to allow me to have a UV source smeared with Blacklight. Surprise does 1 point of aggravated damage. Every turn its light hits a vampire. And if we're in a vampire right now, that's going to hurt them. So I'm thinking like some sort of floodlight and just like letting it go.
Okay. So, if no one minds, as we lead into this last moment, as we wrap up the chronicle. This is going to be a quick cut scene for everybody. Morgan reaching forward, grabbing one of the tendrils, pouring their shadow into it. Ayotunde standing there against fear, witnessing everything as it falls apart and comes together. Sunny, invoking the primal fear. Police, evoking the primal enemy. And Electo, running from a fucking mess that isn't hers. Darkness, brilliant light, witness, and fear. And the only person, as we pan up to a manhole cover that parts, gets pushed out of the way, Vancouver night sky above. One hand reaches out and lifts themselves up, and they see Vancouver as it is post Gehenna. They look down to the friends that somehow made it behind them. And that's, unfortunately, where we're going to end it. As we don't know who survived, we don't know who escaped, but what we do know, some did. And deep within the sewers of Vancouver, the shadows have never been darker. And that'll be it for this chronicle. So thank you very much. I am sorry the ending got very weird, but thank
You're
you,
not sorry.
But thank you everybody for tuning in. Everybody brought truly incredible performances. I'm not going to take up too much time here. I'm so sorry. We will go straight. We're going to go through all of you, and please remind everybody who you are, where they can find you next, and we'll go. So we're going to go reverse, I think reverse order. Yes. So well, we're going to go reverse order based on my computer screen. We're going to start with Julian.
Hi there, I am Julian, and I am one half of Jacqueline Hare. Thank you so much for inviting me on here. This is the first time that I've been on Vancouver by night, and it was super cool and awesome, and I really enjoyed playing Sunny with everybody here. So yeah. You can find me on Jacqueline Hare Art on Etsy and triangle_art_JW. And Jucifer Art on Instagram, Twitter, all the social medias and whatnot. Commissioned me to do artwork because I do that type of thing, and I'm poor.
Let's go to Tutu.
Hi, hello, good evening, folks. You can call me Laura or Tutu or Laura Tutu. You can find me on the internet usually as some iteration of Laura_Tutu. You might just have to throw an underscore at the beginning and the end of that. I have been your Bruja who got roped into shit that they did not sign up for. Fuck. When I'm not here floundering. You can find me hanging out with fine folks over at Queen's Court Games, where I am the social media menace. I also play Calamity Madden in our multi-award winning Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, The All Night Society, who has also officially been selected for Cusco Webfest 2024. On top of that, find me over at Telltale Hearts for a as we dive into Chris Spivey's Haunted West for some more Call of Cthulhu-ish horror ridiculousness set in the Wild Wild West with an all-black table. If you want me and more vampire things, come hang out with me in Texas for the night in question, the premier Sabbat LARP experience happening September 14th. It's going to be a great splattered punk good time, by my reckoning, in the middle of the desert, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, come hang out with me and end up buried alive and covered in blood.
Oh yeah, Danny.
Hi, it's me, Danny Cutter, and I played Aotunde, who has problems. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this campaign or this chronicle, and I've enjoyed it a lot, and I feel very, very blessed and lucky to play with these people. You all are so cool. If you want to know what I'm doing, you should find me on Twitter at Animated Pizza, and that's usually where I'm yapping about what I'm doing. What am I currently doing? Who knows? You can find it out in the Stratosphere. Next person.
That'd be Jesse.
That was so fast. Hi everybody, my name is Jesse. I play Khalees. Sitting here wondering, no, I'm not even gonna get into it. I will go for too long. But what I will say is that I'm one half of Jacqueline Hare. We're starting to stream again and trying to get into YouTube. So please be on the lookout for socials on Jacqueline Hare or the Himbo Gamer. That's me. That's all I got.
And Aubrey.
Hello, I'm Aubrey. You can find me everywhere on the internet at the Mad Queen or Mad Queen Cosplay, depending on the site. And yeah, if you enjoy seeing me play a vampire, you can go check out over on Hallowed Haven Studios. If City of Smoke Season 1 has wrapped up, you can go listen to that. I'm playing a hunter game after that called Wayfarer. We'll be back for our 3rd season. And then I will soon be making my debut as a VTM storyteller with Last of Eden's Vices, hopefully starting in March. We are almost done recording our 1st season, and you may see some familiar faces and hear some familiar voices. It's a great time.
Hell yeah. And I, as always, have been Petra Skelton, and I'm incredibly blessed to be at this table with incredible performers who, if none of them return my call after this chronicle, I will understand. We're good. You can find me mostly, I'm doing a lot of work with Exquisite Corpse right now, where I play everything from a Drider to the upcoming game where I will be playing literally an entire circus. That's going to be fun. Otherwise, I will be on Gamer to Girl's brand new channel where I'll be playing alongside people like Critical Bard and Nerdy and a number of incredible other performers. It's going to be a great time. You can also find my writing on itch.io. I just selling a lot of short stories these days. And oh, yeah, little later, after this comes out, you will see that there is a brand new system that I will likely have in alpha or beta that people can try out, which is a tabletop RPG system inspired by the martial arts movies of the early 2000s, John Wick, and all the wuxia that inspired a stupid 14-year-old that could not get enough of a certain type of cinema. That'll be coming out very soon, and it's going by the name of Bellum Arcana. Otherwise, you can see other great games on Vancouver by Night. There are other ones. There's one that came before this one even. There might be one that happens after everybody's schedules clear up. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in. You've all been truly exceptional. I say that to both my table and the viewers at home, and Steve, who is currently in the oblivion. We will see you later. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.